egg has been planted.
Hello dear griefers and gankers, today we're gonna be talking about how scanning and pinging change in 3.12. Welcome to the first episode of Mad Science. I usually do masterclasses live on Twitch TV/SpaceCutler, so go check me out there, but here is a clean cut on YouTube for you to study. If you find this interesting and educative enough, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's dive right into it. Alright. I'm closing the chat. I'm stopping my stick. Let's get to science, boys. Dear griefers and gankers. Let's talk some science. 3.12 is kind of on PT already, and so you all can test that by yourselves. Obviously, we have like a lot of things coming into 3.12. You will see a lot of cool, useless stuff about the tractor beams, a lot of videos, a lot of like mining folks will be happy about refineries before they get blown on the pads because they have no protection right outside of the ship. A lot of glorious screenshots of gas clouds that try to convince you that this is the best game ever, right? That's all good and dandy, you know, but we're gonna show you a bit different stuff here. In 3.12, there is still undeclared, unstated in patch notes change that for me personally is probably the most important change in 3.12, which is the increased ping range. I personally managed to confirm only 150 kilometers. So prior to 3.12, we all knew how it worked. We had a 20 kilometer range limitation, which both restricted the active radar. Active radar is when you see someone on the radar and you can lock it as a target like everyone else does, right? And then we have a 20 kilometer, the same limitation for the ping, right? So if someone is low signature enough and you don't see it inside that 20 kilometer range, you could ping, and if their signature was high enough for the ping to pick it up, that person, that ship, that entity will show up, even rocks, right? That's how miners scan, right? They will show up as a blue box. You approach that destination, you get them, you get either the rock or you get the ship on your active radar, right? That's all good and dandy, and that's how it worked for years, right? But as we discovered, it works differently now. The ping range increased to this is very relevant to miners. Like clever miners should listen to this and how they are going to make their life safer, right? And less salty. So as of what we detected since yesterday, the ping ranges increased dramatically. I was able personally to detect ships at 150 kilometers. So let's get to it. Amonra, what's your EM signature?
39 even.
39. Okay. Few things you should know about pinging. No matter what your girlfriend or boyfriend, wife or husband says, size does not matter, all right? Size does not matter for pinging, which means no matter which ship you're in, what kind of the size radar you have, ping works the same for every ship for now. Probably that's a subject to change, right? But it works the same. We've tested that with multiple different ships. It has a very simple, definitive logic to it, which I will get into, right? How does the ping work? How does the ping work? So when you press tab, this is your standard scanning interface. Here, you can see a multiplier, 1x. Don't think of this multiplier as like exact multiplying value. Just think of it like this. At multiplier 1, which scans 360 around you, you have an ability to detect a signature with 1 point of signature per 1 meter range ratio, which effectively means if a ship like a Carrack idling on the ground has a signature with the shields charged up but not in the immediate process of charging, having a signature of around 100k of EM, it means you will be able to ping him at 100 kilometers using the 1x multiplier, right? So the most simple scan, which is like this, right? You increase it, it's 360 around you. You will be able to see that Carrack as a box from 100 kilometers if his EM signature is 100k, right? So ships have 3 types of signatures. It is IR, EM, and cross-section. Forget about the cross-section for now. They're still working on it. It's not in a good place to kind of, you know, rely on it. So basically we talk about EM and IR, right? The one that is taken into the account while you look for someone is the biggest one of twos. Right now, every radar, every ping on a ship are very simple. They don't have special bonuses to finding better EM signatures of IR signatures. So they have a ratio of 1-to-1, both IR and EM to finding those signatures, right? So, as Amun-Ra said, he has a signature of what, 33 you said?
39,000.
39,000 EM. Let's back off. We backed off enough. We backed off above approximate. EM signature. So his signature is 39, which means with 1x multiplier, we will be able to see him while we ping at 39 kilometers, and let's see what happens. We see nothing because we're 41 kilometers. I'm just proving the point I was talking earlier, right? About the values. Let's get below 39, like 38, right?
Engines too hot.
Boom! A box. Next. Something that was not important previously is managing your multiplier. Was not something very useful. It kind of worked, but not with the 20 kilometer distances, right? Once again, he has a value of 39k and we see the box. We back off, we ping again, we don't see the box. Don't expect when you zoom in, right? So you see the further like a place on the UI like this. When you zoom in once, it gets smaller. Like 2x multiplier means you're going from 360 to 180 frontal scan, right? The multiplier states 2x, right? But don't expect it to twice the distance. Like, I think they need to tune more though that multiplier and how it affects the distances. There should be a bigger difference for more interesting scanning gameplay, for more precise scanning, so we can find like stuff on like longer distances, but it's up to them to tune that. That's obviously not going to be tuned this patch. We're dealing with what we have right now. So we are starting to ping at 2x. Boom, we got the box. Let's back off. We still got the box. Let's back out further. We still got the box. We still got the box. We still got the box. And that is 180. I literally still cover the whole planet, right? We don't have the box, right? Let's close in where we have the box. All right, around 54 kilometers, right? So that's definitely not 2x, right? So if it would be 2x, we would be picking up with the 2x scan at 78, right? Because it was 39, but that's larger, right? Yes. The diminishing returns will get bigger, so it will be less effective when we move on, right? Let's get to 4x, which is still like 90 degrees angle, right? Still a big angle. That's why I think like 4x scanning is kinda the best thing to do. Still have the box. That is 39k signature. A prospector mining with the most powerful laser will give you around 44k signature. At around 65k, right? That was 4x, right? So we have a 49k signature on Vanguard. This brings us to 1x multiplier, 39 kilometers. 2x multiplier. What was the 2x distance? It was 55, I think, right? 4x, 65, 54, right? 54, right? Okay, let's continue on, right? Okay, 70 kilometers at 8x, right? You can see the diminishing returns, right? On that. I feel it's a bit over the top, but again, that's my personal opinion, right? You can see how it's like, it's already 5 kilometers, right? Here it was basically 15 kilometers. Now it adds up 10 kilometers. Now it adds up 5 kilometers on the current signature, right? No, not that. No. Not every step is 10 kilometers. That I'm saying it's a curve, right? It's every step has more and more diminishing. Rocks are too low signature. With rocks, not much things gonna change, right? It's more about the ship. The rock signature is like too low to go beyond 20 kilometers detection, right? But the overall zooming system, yes, like it works on the rocks too. Of course you will fucking run. Don't come back, you pleb. You see the difference with every step gets smaller and smaller, right? Let's say 75, right? Though this time the difference is actually not... It's still 5 kilometers, right? Okay, let's move next to 32. Okay, it was... I pinged at 82. This one was actually 76. And now it is 82. At some point, I think it settles at like an approximate value of the signature, right? The first few steps give you a lot, and then it like stops at the whatever part of the signature increase. Overclocking will do nothing, yes. Only the time to charge up, I think. I mean, you have to understand, at this small circle, you have to really know where you're pinging. These small circles already make no sense. Gameplay mechanics, right, would usually tell you you go from the wide to narrow, right? You have an overall scan, right, of the planet. Okay, there is something in that region, right? And then you try to narrow it down, but that's not how it works in Star Citizen, right? Oh yeah, definitely, that's true. With that, I agree. That's a good argument, actually. Oh yeah, Eve scanning, like triangulating, was pretty logical, right? I liked it. You see, it's even delayed, so the beam is kind of traveling. It pops up in the very end when it hits the planet, right? 86.5, let's say 87. And the last one, the narrowest one. It is pretty accurate. The accuracy of the circle, like, it's actually, no, wait. It's not accurate. Give me a sec. Do you see when I ping, right? We have the blue sparkles going off, right? The line of blue sparkles is actually pretty accurate on the angle that you scan. Don't look at the circle, look at the blue sparkles that go off, the VFX. That what is pretty much accurate on the angle you're covering, right? Still getting a box. Yeah, let's say 97. 128x, 97 kilometers. So you can see the progression, right? It is weird. Sometimes, because, I mean, you have to understand, these measurements are not super exact, right? Maybe I'm missing a few kilometers here, there. I'm not like moving super slowly, but the biggest steps are these, right? The biggest steps are these. Afterwards, it gets like lower. The progression is not very obvious. It's some kind of a curve, right? That is 39k signature, basically. Let's say 40k signature that is detected by 1x at 40k and is detected by 128x at 100 kilometers. It's more than twice the distance. Now let's see what happens if we start backing off, but we increase the signature, right? Can you start manipulating your shields so they are constantly charging? And tell me your maximum EM signature, and I'll start backing off.
Currently at 115. 115k.
115. 115, which means Amun-Ra is currently fighting someone. 1x scan. Bloop. Oh, we got incoming. Look. Probably an NPC. He's currently fighting on the surface of Daima, and I can see that. Or maybe it's a mole that is mining with all of his 3 powerful mining lasers. Probably with a maximum zoom, I would be able to see you. That's interesting. I'm getting your box and one at 132, right? You see, I'm getting at 2x, right? All right, I have a Vanguard on me.
You're gonna have to get out of there. Can't shoot anything.
Is that?
Attack launch
Good job.
shield.
Is that? You know what? Let's move this on. Let's move this on to a Carrack. All right, guys, we're setting this for a small pause before we get the Carrack here. Carrack has different EM. When it's like stationary, it's gonna be around 100k. When it's charging shields, it's gonna shoot over the roof with EM. Give us 5 minutes. We're gonna bring in the Carrack, and we'll continue this for a like bigger, you know, bigger picture, right?
Contact.
Another one bites the dust. Yep. All right, let's bring back the notepad. Let's continue our sign. Your readouts are
187 on the EM right now.
so 187 should be the distance at 1x. I will see him. Yes, we're getting over 150 kilometers. So that means I was wrong with 150 kilometers, right? I was totally wrong. And for whatever reason, it didn't work, right? Okay, but now we're losing him. Maybe I was right. 150 kilometers is the fucking limit. 160 maybe. Yeah, I think 160 actually. Okay, so not 150, 160, but that's the limit. Now to everyone who stayed up until this moment, there's gonna be an interesting thing. So we're closing in, and I'll keep pinging. I keep pinging. There is a box. There is a box. There is a box. There is a box. The box is gone. The box is gone, guys. 120 kilometers. The box is gone. Any scientists in chat who can explain this? I mean, I know the answer, but is there anyone who can guess what's going on? It seems like it is fucked up. Aurelian is not correct, but it's warm. Okay, let me explain this to you, boys. Science time, boys! This is a maximum ping range of 150 kilometers. This is our target ship, which is Carrack. We can be in any position on this line, right? So this is a 20 kilometer server calling limitation. A temporary 20 kilometer radar detection limit due to technical limitations, right? It was the same limit for the ping, but this patch, ping overrides that limitation, right? True visibility range, TVR. Let's call it TVR. TVR is a distance at which a ship would be theoretically visible for your radar, if not the 20 kilometer calling limitation, right? What that means? That means that the only reason why currently, right now, I do not see the Carrack in front of me is because of the artificial server calling. Its signature is big enough for my radar to actively pick it up. Yes, the Carrack would be visible at 100 whatever kilometers for my radar, if not that calling, right? It's just how the servers work right now, because we don't have server meshing, the tech isn't there, they need to limit it, they probably would remove it, hopefully sooner than later, but that's what it is, right? So this is this true visibility range that should have been there, if not the calling, right? So this is 20 kilometers, target is visible on radar. This is the true visibility where it has to be visible, right? So the way the ping works is how I personally understand it, and I'm pretty sure it is like this. The ping has this logic. You do the ping, and probably it is coded into the future, right? So they're coding it like with the future understanding, right? So, okay, the ping thinks the ship should be visible on the radar, on my radar. I shouldn't build a box for it. I shouldn't build a box for it. So here, how the blind spot is created. Because this is where ping, like ping's logic, thinks you should be able to see the target, right? Already. So when you're below that point, but before the actual visibility because of the 20 kilometers limitations, you're in a blind spot. It's not creating a ping box for you and the icon, right? You're in the blind spot. So, yeah. That's the funny part in this system. Do you have the number on the outer limit on the blind spot? The true visibility range is what you mean. It is defined by the ship's signature, right? If the ship's signature is 100K EM and your radar is size 1, which will give it a 0.75 multiplier, that means 100K EM signature multiplied by 0.75 will give you a 75 kilometer range on the active radar, theoretically, if not the calling, right? So a 100K emission would be visible for your size 1 radar would be 75 kilometers. The radar gets bigger, that true visibility range changes. I said previously that ping is not affected by the radar size as of now, and it's not. But the active radar is. And active radar is what dictates the true visibility range, right? It gets funnier. Let's just make some marks here, right? Max ping range 160 km 5. True visibility range is defined by your radar and entity emissions. Distance between TVR, true visibility range, and 20 kilometer server calling is blind spot, right? Okay, give me a sec. I'll move this here, right? Because I move it on my screen, but it doesn't move on stream. All right. Here is the next trick. Can you start jiggling your shields?
Pump it up or bring it down? What do you want?
Pump it up. His EM charging shields is almost half a mil. How to hide a Carrack in a plain sight from pinging? He created just now a blind spot that is bigger than a maximum ping range. How to hide a Carrack in a plain sight? You just move your shields. 146. I'm not picking him up. 150. Nope. We're right now in the blind spot that will continue on. That's it. That's the limit. I'm not picking him up, right? Yes, Laser, what he's doing is he's just moving his shield back and forth like the slider, so it constantly keeps recharging, which puts his signature to almost 500,000. And I would be able to see him right now on my radar, if not the server calling, right? And I would be able to see him like 400 kilometers away, but because of how the system works, I don't see him because of calling. But he's in a blind spot, so my ping doesn't pick him up. So distance limitation on the ping is 160 kilometers. So basically the blind spot is from 20 kilometers of server calling until 160. That's it. Yeah, so for 450 multiplied by 0.75, I would be able to see him from like 337 kilometers just straight up on my radar, right? Yes, he's making the signature so big he should be in TVR, right? Yeah, that's basically it for our scanning science for today, but overall being able to, you know, go to an aim point, right? Just, you know, do this. Do this. Or whatever. What's your... Yeah, and see the box is pretty cool, you know? If there is someone super big.
I'll flick my little switch right now, and then now my shield should go freaking crazy. And now you can't see me.
And...
Yep, and then
Yep.
if you
I cannot see him.
If you overclock or put the slider up, I'm up to like 565,000 right now.
Yeah,
so there's no way you could see me. I have a huge blind spot right now.
A mining prospector has, with a helix pumped up to 100, it will be around 44k, 45k, around those numbers. Depends on your modules. You have to, like, you can always see your signature here, right? Either in your overview screen, or you can go to heat. It will show you EM, IR, same numbers. Oh, of course, I can kick him from the party. Is your EM back to normal?
Relatively.
There you go. There's the signature. So looking for someone big, you have to expect to have a blind spot, right? So now he's in a blind spot, but I already took the vector, right? So we'll just continue going to the vector, right? Basically scanning with a smaller ship, with a smaller radar, will make your blind spot smaller. Because the bigger the radar you have, the bigger the TVR will be for the ship you look for, the bigger the blind spot will be. So this is one huge blind spot, right? Oh! Now we got him. We got him, chat! We found our miner!
Oh no. Please, Mr. Space Asshole, don't kill me.
Of course. Alright lads, that's about it for this topic. If you found out this to be interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check me out on Twitch, and I see you in the next one.